Excellent. All right. Now I'm gonna have a vote. Oh no! Dumping! Oh no! All right. What's going on? Yeah. Audio check.
Check.
Oh, I got you there, bud. Alright, smash the like button. All those hundreds of thousands of viewers out there. Hundreds of thousands of viewers. Alright. I think we're pretty good here. Looks good, sounds good. Surely sound. Now what do I do? I can't even remember how this works. Oh yeah, right. Here we go. Oh, hey, folks. Welcome back to Surely Sound Studio. My name is Martin. You can call me Marty. And the light is extremely bright today. So we're going to turn that down a little bit. How's that? That's more realistic. All right. This is my show. Welcome to the stream. We got AK with us today. What's up, buddy?
How's it going? Yeah, everything's going good. How about you?
Fantastic. Absolute beauty day out there. Stained the deck last weekend. It hasn't rained. Well, rained just a little bit yesterday, but the deck was fine. We did the oil base. She's on there good and solid. Should get easily another 10 years out of that layer. It's going to be a good summer. I'm going to do some string lights, I think, maybe next weekend. Yeah, man. Backyard's looking good. Stoked on everything. But what's Bitcoin going to do, man? Where is it going? What is happening? And Canada's banning Bitcoin? What is all this madness I hear about? Well, first of all, it was very quickly taken down, retraced, taken back, republished under Canada as banning Bitcoin ATMs. But I was definitely scrolling late at night the day before and saw a headline that said Canada was banning Bitcoin. There was no ATM in the headline until I went to bed and woke up the next morning and saw, I actually reposted it on X because I wanted to talk about it, but it is gone. And so it was clearly taken, and then this is what happened afterwards. they changed it to ATMs. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about some crazy indicators that are getting to scary levels, pre-dot-com bubble, pre-housing collapse type stuff. Central bankers talking about the Federal Reserve record losses. It's just
How can you have losses when you can just
in
print?
more cash than they've ever been in. What is going to happen, folks? The S&P is at all-time high. This morning, it made another all-time high, breaking this little correction, and oil prices continue to go up. Let's take a look at oil, take a look at Bitcoin, take a look at the charts and try and figure out what the hell is going on here. I do have a prediction for what's going to happen this week based on the charts. There's two directions that we could go in here, of course. O is up or down, but there is sideways. Sideways seems to be pretty common. It is a weekend, but I do think we see some fireworks here next week. What happened last week? Not too much, really. Kind of just floating around up here. We had the short. Let's see if I can bring the short back up. It should be... Oh, maybe I got rid of it. Because I did close it. I closed my large swing short that I had. That we were eyeing up. And it looks like I did get rid of it on the chart. So it was basically... If we go to the daily here, we were looking for a big swing short sort of around this area, and my stop out would have been up in this area here, which we haven't tagged yet. But the fact that we're just sitting here going sideways leads me to believe that they're just building more liquidity to the upside to continue to move up. If this was going to be a rejection, like this would be it right here, because this would be your break of structure where you have high, low, higher, low. This was a higher high. It did take that high out by a few dollars, but then lower low, lower high, lower low. So a little bit of nothing really too pretty happening right here. This is on a daily and in a weekly chart. We have a breakout and a retest. So that is significant. Because if we do go out to the higher time frames, I have to say the daily looks kind of bullish, but it did look bullish. We were talking about last week how we got the red dot, and I mean, this maybe was all that we get for this little correction here. If you look on the large time frames, the money flow is heavily in the red and it's coming up into the green. We are finally breaking and holding above this trend line that we've been holding stuck under since the all-time high in the RSI. So it's I don't know, man. The way I see it going right now is if we come up and get rejected right here, then that's it. That's probably about all we're gonna see. But if we continue to go sideways and maybe even go down first, take some liquidity down here, then that would be way more healthy for more of a move up, because it's all about how the most people are going to get wrecked. And right now it kind of seems like everyone's getting a little bit too bullish too soon, in which case you're going to have massive amounts of liquidity up here, or too bearish too soon, sorry, and they're going to come up and grab that liquidity. Why wouldn't they? Look at all that liquidity up there. And where's options? Max Pain, 80K on OKX. Binance, 78K. So it's like, honestly, people are just getting wrecked right now, probably. And it's gonna continue to just go up and sweep this liquidity, and it's going all the way up to 81K. In which case, I'm going to watch for reactions up here, but I'm also probably going to be taking some profits on some positions as well. Some other longs, because I think ultimately, I don't think... Let's check the monthly here, because it was a new month. It's May now.
Yeah, it was the first month in the green, or just an up month since January. Where is that? I have it pulled up here somewhere.
There's music down a little bit. I think it was hot. But, well, look at that. 1, 2.
Oh, highest weekly close. Sorry.
Yeah. But, I mean, that was, that's not a very good looking green candle. That's just a massive rejection. But then it comes all the way back up. So, it looks a little bottomish for sure. This is really cool, though, on the monthly. Boom, boom, boom. Clear support. You want to see the wicks down at the bottom. We've got one wick down here, but then we got another wick up here. So, I don't know. EMA's ticking up. Money flow's ticking up. Honestly, the monthly looks pretty dang bullish. Everything's ticking up, but this is kind of where
the bull before the summer kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then we start seeing it drop or go sideways.
Well, that's just it too. And the summer's coming in, and you're not gonna see you're not gonna see a lot happen in the summer. You think, yeah, I don't know. A lot of these guys are taking vacations in the summer and doing messed up things with all your money that they took from you. So it's yeah, who knows? But look at this. Let's see here. RSI has never come down much lower than the 50, and it's already been, kind of bouncing off the 50. So a little bit more relief. I mean, they're all they're doing is printing money, but it's like, when is the freaking crash gonna happen, right? When is it gonna happen? Well, fuck, we keep talking about it. It's never gonna happen, unfortunately. And as long as they keep printing money, man, it's like
just the more you can buy Bitcoin.
Well, the investors of the past are out of the market. Like the good investors of the past that invest on a company, whether it's making money or not, is it stock to whatever ratio worth it, stock value ratio, whatever, I can't remember the term right now, but if it's worth it and the stock is undervalued, they're buying them, right? If the company's making more money than the stock is worth, well, then you buy it because it's due for more money. But if the stock is way overvalued and the company's not making that much money, and we know that the Magnificent Seven and all the AI and tech companies are just siphoning money through each other, circling money, new money gets printed, it gets put into that and just continues to circle into a funnel. I mean, it's kind of how the whole thing was designed to work. It's just working really, really fast right now, so it's undeniable. In the 100 years ago, the money funneling was the idea. It just took a lot longer. Now we have technology, so they can money funnel really quickly, and people are catching on, right? Obviously, like Bitcoin was invented to try and avoid this money funneling bullshit that's screwing 99% of the people. And then also those people, the 1% that it's benefiting, they're also owning everything and making sure by controlling the education system that the 99 don't figure out what's happening. But thank goodness to technology, we've been able to do our own research, and we have other innovators out there and pioneers paving the way for what I would say is actual reality, because I feel like we've been living in a crazy
dystopia.
Yeah, like
the world hasn't been right for well over a decade, I would say, at this point.
Yeah, and it's not real. Like, nothing makes any sense. Math isn't there. They're just printing money out of thin air constantly. And the Federal Reserve is losing 114 billion. I don't even know. Is that billion? What's that? Million?
Well,
billion,
here's the thing. It's
trillion.
Too much either way.
It's just like, it's stupid. Like, why is there so many zeros? Like, what's happening here? We've gotten to the point where there's so many zeros. The numbers are too big. We don't even know what the numbers are. You guys.
Meanwhile, if they lose you paying your taxes, you go to jail at the expense of everything else too. They'll spend money on that.
Yeah, well, they can spend money on anything, and that's the thing that needs to stop. Like, money needs to be removed from state.
Ridiculous.
The fact that they can just do anything they want by printing money to do it and not have to actually work for it. Like, it's not proof of work, right? They can just, it's the ultimate scam. It's insane. They can print money to do whatever they want. And then they justify it by saying, oh, energy, or people are suffering, we need to liberate, right? It's
People
like,
are suffering. Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Right here.
Canada, right. The Bitcoin ATM thing. Well, that's just, I mean, as soon as I saw it, I think the market had a nice little dip too. It was probably that screenshot I sent you when it was puking. I was like, oh, it's puking. Because it was, or maybe it was a little bit after that, but it was pretty funny. Like, right after the news, of course, I'm in the charts, and I think it was somewhere in here. But then in the next, yeah, it was probably here, because we'd already had those 2 dumps, and it was here that they said that. And we were already kind of calling for the short and expected this sort of happen. But then the news changed and literally went right back up. And then we had, I think that was Wednesday, hey? So yeah, the morning session. Yeah, morning session. And then honestly, I closed my shorts here because this big wick was like, man, this was the bull div on the hourly. And remember I said in the chat, they were probably going to see some relief here. And that's when I closed my shorts, because I was like, this just doesn't look like it's like, if it was going to drop, that's where it would have happened right there.
It would have stayed, yeah.
For this to break structure and continue down, that should have broke. And it didn't, so it bounced, and that was, I believe, right on the retest of the major. Yeah, so that was just like, okay, that's no good for the shorts. Excuse me. Oh man.
There we go. Now I can hear.
That was no good for the short, so I closed them, because I think we're gonna get higher. We're gonna get a better short. I still think there's a short to be had.
Yeah, there it is. It's coming.
I still think there's a short to be had, but like I said, everyone's gonna get wrecked first. It's probably gonna be like I don't know. I still am into the, hitting 80K or just shy 80K. Because a lot of people now are calling for 80K. Everyone's like,
Well, we keep bouncing off 79, really.
Yeah.
That's like, we're not, we still have another 1,000 to go before we hit 80, which is, it's quite a bit, but they can be done.
I think this would be a valid short here, anywhere in here.
Anywhere between 79 and 80K is going to be a good short entry, I think.
Well, this is just it though, because this is what everybody's looking at. If you go on to a higher time frame, this is basically what everybody's looking at, right? Take this all the way back down to the bottom of the range, and because we've already deviated out of this range, we're on top of this area now. We're kind of holding up on this area though, so this is what you want to do. Is you want to see a divergence above the range, and then you want to see us come back into the range and get stuck, and then that's a clear indicator that we're likely coming to see the lows again. But that didn't happen, and I bet you there's still a lot of people that are looking at this setup and going like, this is valid risk to reward ratio. It makes sense. You're betting on this being the high. You're betting on there being a whale here that is not like aggressively selling. So anytime it comes up into this range, they're filling orders, and that's what's happening so far. Are the buyers going to be able to buy up their sell order is the question. And I think probably if everyone's looking at this, and then you want to do, let's see, what move? There's a froze. Oh, can't move it. There you go. Okay, there you go. You want to do something like that where you enter at everybody's stop loss.
Yeah.
Up in here where everyone's stop loss is, you enter up there, and then there's the VWAP right there. There's quite a few higher time frame confluences for the 85K range, which when we were in this range, I kind of expected, I believe I said it multiple times, 85K is likely before going lower because there's just this massive gap to be filled. What happens when it goes quickly through these areas is orders don't get filled. Christ. Orders don't get filled, and then they sit there and they sit on the books, and people want to fill those orders. The market wants to fill those orders. It has that's what its job is to do, is to fill all the orders. So when you have a big gap there, it wants to go there. It's seeking fair value, and if fair value isn't down here anymore, then fair value previously was up here, or it's got to fill and find its fair value in this area, which would make a lot of sense. If we go up to 85K and we actually hang out in the 80s for all summer, and then after summer something escalates, and right around September, October, maybe September,
we start seeing our bear market again.
Something extremely significant happens in the news and causes the problem, right? Like it's going to be by design.
Of course.
So basically, we're just waiting for that moment for them to pull the trigger. All right, we're ready now. We're ready now.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's get this going.
Well, you look at all the crises that we've had happen over the years. September 11th, .com, or the housing collapse was October.
Multiple wars.
Everything seems to like really escalate in the fall, in Q3.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I wonder why that was.
We had a good Q3 last year, but we had a terrible Q4 because we hit the top at the end of Q3, and then it was basically down since then. So we already had a good Q3 last year. Just got to keep that in mind. That's the main point there. We had a good Q3 last year. Are we going to have another good Q3 this year? That's right. It seems to me like that's right around the time where it's not going to be going too well. It looks okay right now because I think the money printing is just, well, absolutely, people are buying aggressively because of apps and stuff. Like back in the day, there was you had to go through a broker to buy stocks and stuff, right? And it literally took days to do that stuff sometimes. But now you can do it instantly, and everybody can put their paycheck in the S&P 500 automatically, so quickly. So this is obviously what they want to do. Everybody put your money in here. Everybody put your money in here. We're making it so easy to put your money in here. Just do it. Auto deposit. Blah blah blah. And then when everybody's overexposed, they're gonna rug pull.
Yeah, and then get you to sell it all.
Get you to sell it all so that they can buy it low.
So they can buy it all back.
Exactly, right? So it's just the same thing. Just
Well,
soak
take
the
a look.
towel,
I
rinse
sent
the
you a
towel.
link.
Soak the towel, rinse the towel. Soak the towel, rinse the towel. They're just soaking the towel right now, and they're gonna rinse it out. It's coming, and Q3 would make a lot of sense for sure. Probably some relief until then, though. So I'm not looking at any heavy shorts until maybe we see like a SFP of this area. So like a nice, like, oh, Bitcoin's pumping, but then it just gets smashed and comes back down and gets stuck under that red line. Maybe we'll look for a short there.
Go take a look at the daily volume there I sent you. I don't know if it'll link it right into the proper one, but oh, there you go. So that's just the daily stuff that's been going on for the last month in Bitcoin. That's the amount of volume. That's, price movement.
Right. Okay. Some CoinGecko stuff here. Nice.
Quite a bit.
Market cap. Okay, so market cap's been climbing a little bit. That's nice to see. Volume. So that would have been yesterday, May 3rd, or that's today already. Okay. So yesterday,
yeah,
39 billion, 31 billion, 42 billion.
It's nuts.
It is. It's not actually that crazy. It's just, I would say,
No, that's the thing. It doesn't move much with that much money. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. Well, it's because the market is just kind of like agreeing. It's you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
Bitcoin should go down because everything else should go down because everything's over leveraged and overinflated, right? It should go down. But
yeah.
it's also an asset that is compared to a US dollar that they're just printing infinite amounts of so fast for war. Like the unfortunate thing when it comes to investing is a lot of people think that the wars are going to crash markets, uncertainty is going to crash markets, but it actually
No, it
creates
improves a lot.
it creates economic growth, unfortunately, and they've been doing it for a long time. In World War II, more factories were made than ever, right? Like because of the war, a lot of businesses were created. BMW, Mercedes, they were created because of the war. They were making airplanes, now they make cars, right? So it's like
Yeah, BMW. Yeah, they couldn't stay in the plane game, so they'll move over to
exactly
cars.
right, and they but it caused massive economic growth. As
Yeah,
terrible as it is, that's
because
just
you need to
how
destroy something to create something.
exactly that's how they've been doing it for 100 years. Or actual, geez, arguably a lot longer, but we have the
Yeah,
records that we can see still, you know, for 100 years of this Federal Reserve
yeah. There's a
situation,
whole history we don't even know.
right?
So
And the thing is like nothing ever is created or destroyed; it just changes shape or form. So the Federal
yeah,
Reserve, what it is now, was just something else before, right? And goes all the way
well,
back
it was
to
religion, kind of, right? Like religion used to run the world more than the U.S.
absolutely, yeah.
dollar,
That's how the religion is what causes people to obey and be controlled. Now they're using
right?
money, yeah, right. It's all, and they use guilt and doubt, fear,
They said
uncertainty.
there's three places that you got to look into the world. It's like it's the
Italy.
Vatican, Washington D.C., and I forget some other one, but they're all just like independent states, and they really don't have. They make their own laws basically,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And there's a third one I can't remember, and those are the three that really, well, they make all the decisions.
The trans globalists.
Yeah,
Globalists. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how like obvious. I feel like if everybody understood, that wouldn't be. But like, and then here we are talking about it, like showing people proof, showing people documentations and stuff, and there's still people out there that just like, no, that's not possible. There's no way.
yeah. That's how do you believe in the good of just humans like that? Like, oh yeah, these people in charge who have the ability to create whatever life they want won't do that because they're looking out for me.
Yeah,
Like, no, no, they're not.
yeah, yeah. They wouldn't do that. Come on, they wouldn't do that. I don't know, man. It's getting pretty crazy. But the funny thing is that especially here in Canada, it's getting, obviously, the numbers say, right, it's not my opinion. And I actually think it's like, as far as like going out and walking on the street, where we live, it's still really nice. There's nothing,
Oh yeah,
you know, the numbers, like on paper, wow, looks real bad. Real bad. Worst it's been possibly ever in comparison. So, I don't know, man. It's like all that stuff is just, it's all just manipulating the markets, right? Like it's all
yeah.
that it's doing. I get it though. Like it's going to lead to when the jobs thing gets taken down too much. Well, excuse me. When people start losing their jobs because of technology, it's weird because in the past we've
But
had
that's
this
how
happen
life
in the
almost
Industrial
used to
Revolution.
be.
Well, we had this happen in the Industrial Revolution when machines started taking over for things that people used to do. Men used to hit things with hammers. Well, now we have power hammers, right? And
Yeah, hydraulic presses, all this
right,
other,
and so, but
insane
it
stuff,
ended up
yeah.
actually creating a whole revolution and a whole massive new job. What's it called? Or I guess revolution. But it you know what I mean? So like everyone's kind of
Well,
talking
yeah,
about how
it
AI is
cut
going
jobs
to
at the
jobs,
same
but
time, but what do you do?
I think it's just gonna change. Like sort of where I was getting at with the Canada thing. It's like, okay, it's getting really bad. It's getting really, really bad. And then we're just going to change colors and it's going to be good again. Hey, we're good again. Right? It's just the same fucking thing over and over again.
And if they go into a Bitcoin standard, we'll be okay for a long, long time. If we go into some other standard where we're just looking out until we die and we screw the next generation, like, you know, we kind of have been, well, that's not too good.
Well, I'll tell you what they're trying to do. They're trying to, because I do believe they passed it a week or two ago, where they will have Canadian stablecoins. You will have a universal base income. This is what I don't get, though, because like I was just saying, the Industrial Revolution actually created more jobs. They thought it was going to replace, you know, they thought that the farmers were going to no longer, you know, have to mow their fields and whatever else because we got machines to do it. But now they just drive the machines. Like, you know what I mean? They're still...
you still need someone to operate it.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, I guess we have artificial intelligence. So the intelligence part is supposed to be able to operate things.
But
we still...
You've seen some of that. We're still a long ways away from that.
It's I guess it's gonna happen eventually, but I think they're gonna rinse the towel a couple more times before it gets too crazy. But what Canada's trying to do is give everybody the UBI on digital currency. Is doing the exact same thing China's doing, if you haven't noticed.
I know.
That's communism, and if that's what you're for, well, I don't know, man.
Oh, I mean, that's the way we've been going the last 10 years. That everybody's been yelling and screaming about. Well,
think about it. Like,
here we are now.
Small
Enjoy
businesses
it.
are
Like, this is what you wanted.
It is nearly impossible to maintain a small business.
Oh yeah,
by design, right? They're
You're
talking
not
about
meant to.
UBIs being fully implemented by the end of 2027. So by 2028, you will have a digital wallet. You will have that the government will issue you through CRA or whatever, and you will have money put into that account that you will have to use, or else it'll expire at the certain time. Or whatever. I don't I don't know, man. Alberta's obviously.
We'll be doing the stream from a different location then. So
I don't know, man. I hope not. I hope that.
I know, same here. But the way this, well, hey, you know, I guess there are some people in support of 51st state, hey?
Well, yeah, like all of Alberta is definitely sticking their stick in the spokes.
I'm going 51st state. I'm going all the way with that over China every day.
Well, that's just it, right? Like Canada's obviously going to be consumed by somebody. We have the United States, and you have China, and you have Russia. Who do you want to be? Like, oh well, come on, why can't we be Canada, right? Well,
yeah, we can't. Well, we aren't Canada anymore. Jeez, we don't know what the hell we are.
The generation that gave Canada the name that it had and the legacy it had, unfortunately,
they're gone. Yeah,
they're all dead, and they created such a good time that their offspring
became useless
pretty well. And not only that, like just not willing or understanding, not even really understanding that, like, there's people that want to take what you have. You realize that you need to, you have always in the past had to fight to protect that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't fight and you're just like, oh yeah, we're Canada, it's all good, come on in.
Yeah. We're all I mean, hey, we are all stoned, but you know, we can't all be stupid too.
Well, that's just it. Like you got to draw the line somewhere. You got to talk. There's got to be discussions. It's got to be done properly. You can't just go all willy-nilly, or else you get taken advantage of.
Isn't that the whole point?
Everybody wants to do good. Everybody wants, goes around, comes around. But unfortunately, there's other people that don't have it as well as other people. And when you got less to lose, you care less about other people sometimes. It sucks.
Oh, dude.
We go from being that small town mentality into the city mentality, and where everybody's out for each other and nobody helps each other, which is terrible. And why do you think they're trying to push people into cities? Why do you think they're trying to get, because they're a lot easier to control when they're divided. If you're in a small community, those are the threat to the big people, because those small communities stay educated and communicate with each other and are all in an inner circle. Everybody knows each other. Everybody is accountable for their actions because everybody knows everybody. if you
And they
do
all go to their
something
town hall meetings, and they all,
right.
that's their get together, and they all hang out and they all talk about what to fucking do and things like
Exactly.
that.
And
It's
now
insane.
we're more connected than we've ever been, but we're also potentially divided
Divided.
more than we've ever been.
Yeah.
Like we're not paying attention to the right thing because the carrot is being hung in our face to not pay attention to the right thing. It's always
Well,
look over here, look over here, look over here, look over
tell on
here.
your neighbor, your neighbor's a bad person. You shouldn't trust them. You don't know
Yeah.
who's living beside you.
Don't answer the door. If someone knocks on the door, don't answer it. Like,
And do you remember, like, when was the last time you ever heard somebody be like, yeah, I went over to my neighbor's, grabbed a cup of sugar. I owe them a cup. And then that neighbor would come back a month later and go, I'm out of sugar. Give me a cup. Like,
yeah, my grandma did that for sure.
well, we used to as kids, run over to the neighbor's house. I need to make muffins or whatever. I need some sugar.
Yeah, I grew up out in the fields, so it was a little bit, get your bike and start riding.
Yeah.
If that was the thing, or get the golf cart, quad or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's just that mentality is, I hope, dying down. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it was extreme a couple years ago. 2022 was insane for people being divided, and I feel like we've kind of rounded out a little bit, and people are starting to come together and really just understand that, hey, and it's because of inflation. The massive rate of inflation has kind of put everybody in the same boat, whether they like it or not. Hey guys, we have a common enemy, and it's inflation.
Yeah, because what's the one thing that controls everybody? Money. So how do you divide them? Well, screw everybody over and let them fight each other, saying that they're the ones causing it, and they're not. It's the people controlling it.
Yeah, and exactly, and it's by design. And now they've caused the problem. Now they want to provide the solution, and so that's what they are.
But some people figured out, hey, you know what? If we all just work together and be central rather than far left and far right, and we compromise with things and we do things right, we have a great place to live.
And you know who's doing that? Somebody's doing that right now, just with a little bit of common sense.
Man, I want to do that. I want to put out get like a Bitcoin condo building going where everybody owns Bitcoin and is invested in it, and it's just like a big group thing.
Yeah,
great.
You honestly pulling your money to people are already doing it in many places in the world, pulling their money together just to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and then you can start a community. You can go out and buy 30 acres, build some houses, build and then build outwards.
Because of compound interest, the more you have, the more you make. So the little guy gets screwed because you only get your percentage on a couple $100.
Hence why Taylor's buying everything on a
$2
company.
million, you know what I mean? Like it continues to grow exponentially the more you have. So, but yeah, like, El Salvador is living proof.
Oh yeah, they're
from
amazing.
What I've seen, anyways. I haven't been there.
Well, if you watch videos from the people who actually live there, rather than watching what the news decides to show you, you see a big difference in reality.
You see, like, from what I've seen, what I believe I've seen, is more of a small town community-like mentality through everybody there. And you look at the numbers, the crime rate's down 90%. A bunch of the other numbers are like, just
I know it's a bit extreme.
It's completely flipped.
But he even banned haircuts. Gang styled haircuts. He banned them.
Oh, really?
In the whole country, yeah. I mean, I know it's a bit ridiculous and going there, but when he had such a massive problem with the gang culture, he had to completely wipe it, right?
There's honestly though, like look at this guy. He looks sharp. He looks sharp, man. And so if your people are getting that far out of line, maybe that's what it takes, man. I don't even want to see a shitty haircut on you. I want people to look sharp. He's leading by example as well. So it's
I think he's looks
and
looks
those
like a
little
leader.
Things like that's discipline. That's the discipline that makes a difference. Holding yourself to a certain standard and everybody else around you to that certain standard. Not just being like, whatever, I just, you take care of yourself, take care of your family and everybody around you, lead by example, and don't let the little things slide. And then people are like, oh yeah, sorry, I don't know what I was thinking, right? But if you let the little things slide, yeah, it's no big deal. oh yeah, coffee breaks 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 18 minutes, 20 minutes.
Welcome to the union.
Exactly, right? Coffee breaks were supposed to be 10 minutes. Like when they were first a thing, 10 minutes was your coffee break.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't. It's nuts.
Now they're at least 15 on paper, but people
50, yeah, we're talking half
20.
hour. Well, you got to remember there's drive time to go to coffee, right? Then you got to sit down, order, and sit for your 15. Then you got to drive back to the site. So I mean, it ends up being 45 minutes, right?
Yeah, like nothing's getting
It's a
done.
joke. You know what? You
happens,
sit down, you have your coffee on site, and you get back to work after 15, or you just don't take your fucking 15-minute break and work through.
Are you guys aware of inflation? We do not have time for coffee breaks anymore. Drink your coffee while you're working.
Hell yeah. Mentality.
Or just drink water. I mean, I don't know. I think I've had about 2 cups of coffee in the last 10 years.
Wow.
And that was just recently because Kayla got one of those machines or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'll try one of those. And so I was like, I just wanted it black. But of course, I also had, I don't know, some sort of liqueur in it as well. So it wasn't really like, I wasn't drinking coffee for the reason most people drink coffee.
No.
But
it's an excuse to drink in the morning when you don't have.
That's just it. That's all it's become, is an excuse to take time off, an excuse to not work, right? It's like, man, just drink water while you're like, you know, if you need to, obviously, like, if you're busting your ass, okay, which not very many people do, but if you are busting your ass, then yes, definitely sit down for 15 minutes and just like take some water. You know, take some deep breaths, let your freaking muscles just kind of recharge for a bit. Let your brain recharge, let process what you're doing a bit, you know, because if you do get too narrowed in on something, you will start to lose it. You got to step back. You always got to.
And you can hurt yourself, other things. Yeah, you know.
Oh man. I was in a tiny little spot in a boat the other day, and I was welding this thing in, and I'm like trying to get away from it. I'm like, oh, it looks pretty straight to me. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. Tack. It looks pretty straight. I'm pretty sure it's good. Weld. Get out and look at from outside. I'm like, that is crookeder than shit. You can't see it when it's right here, you know. And then it'll all be covered up. I mean, it's gonna bug me more than it bugs anybody else. So they don't care. It's just a bracket that they're gonna use to strap something to or whatever, right? But it's definitely not square. But I'm like, you know, it bugs me.
One of a kind.
It's funny but yeah, again, I don't know, man. The people, we gotta raise the standards. There has to be a line that needs to be drawn, or else.
I'm the same way, man. And my job drives me up the wall. Something simple is just, you know, being a garbage man. What the fuck? Put your damn cans back where you found them and close the lids, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. And that's actually.
I got certain people on my, you know, and certain people have to fill in because me or my buddy there called in. Right. And, you know, we have to explain. It's like, why do I have to explain this to you? You're 50, 40 years old. Haven't you ever had garbage pickup at your house and seen how they do it? Like,
I know, right? And that's the thing. Like, that's actually huge because you're talking about the side of the road, like the curb effect, you know? Like, everyone's looking at
like it to look nice. I think it looks pretty. When you walk down, everything's all lined up, put back properly, lids are closed. It makes the community look nice.
It makes people act better. If the area that they're in is nice, if the bathroom that they're in is nice, whatever it is they're using, they will continue to make it look nice. If you go into a restaurant and it's dirtier than shit, well, then you're probably not cleaning up your table. You know, like, you're just leaving garbage everywhere because everybody else did. But if everybody cleans up, then, like, you find yourself, oh man, I'm going to wipe, I got a couple crumbs here. I'll take my napkin and wipe up the table before I leave because this place looks so nice. I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be the guy that freaking, you know, left some ketchup on the table. Like, come on now.
No, you can even be the first one to do it, and everybody else will start following you too, right? I mean, it's just as simple as that as well.
The little discipline slips make a huge difference over time, and it's something that
has to do with culture and everything else, though, unfortunately, and we've changed from that, right? So.
We've changed from that because we had good times. Those good times are coming to an end.
Yeah. Everybody needs to pick it up a little bit.
And so we need, fortunately, we have things like Bitcoin. And you and I both know everybody who understands Bitcoin is just on a different level. There's no really, like, it takes a while, at least, like, you know, 3 or 4, maybe 5 years of trying to understand Bitcoin before you click and you're like, whoa. And then I don't know how else I'll explain it. It's not necessarily a higher, lower levels. Don't get offended, but it's a different level.
Yeah, and
Different
it's
level of
the thing
understanding.
is because you're not understanding Bitcoin just as Bitcoin. You learn so much more because you're like, okay, well, if Bitcoin is currency, then what's the problem with our current currency?
Exactly.
And then you go into that, and then you dive into a whole bunch more things, and you really start becoming a lot more educated in how things are actually working and run, rather than just being like, oh, I just go to work for 8 hours a day and trade my time, the most valuable asset that I have, for a measly, 20, 30 bucks an hour. Why not learn how to invest that and make your time more valuable as you get older?
And then also
a pension.
And then also everything new that happens, you see it with a completely different outlook. You see it as just manipulation. You don't. It's not what they're saying it is. It's just no, guys. Like, this is what they're saying, but this is what they're doing. This is everything's like a metaphor or a simile. You know what I mean? Like, you have to understand that isn't what it is. This is what it is, and this is why it is what it is, and this is how they're benefiting. How this is what it's going to change. All these effects that it's having is really what it's the real thing is. It's not what they're saying.
In the last 10, 15 years, politicians are some of the richest people in the world now. How is that possible? You're a civil servant, you serve the people.
Yeah, that's definitely a massive discrepancy that people, I don't understand how don't catch on to that. Yeah, like you see a picture of a $1.5 million house. It's like, doctor lives here, and it's just a regular nice house, right? Like maybe 5 bedrooms. And then you have a politician who on paper supposed to make the same amount of money per year, but they have a fucking $10 million mansion,
private jet, their own private island. It's insane.
It's out of hand. It's madness. It is.
And then they go, nothing's wrong. They wouldn't do that. They just know where to invest their money.
Yeah, well, they do. Okay. They absolutely do, because they create the laws and they create they force everybody to consume certain things. You got to think about this. When certain people put their money somewhere and then they force by law somebody to consume something, that causes a massive, well, first of all, the tax dollars. Okay, once they force something by law, everybody pays through the tax dollars. So they get all the tax dollars basically. They buy first, and they change the law to force it for their investment. It's crazy, man, and it's just over and over and over again. They do
they make it law. They get everybody to basically buy the stock. They tank that stock. They buy it all back, jack it up, and then go, oh shit, look at all the money we made.
Yeah, they're doing it. Well, and then they have like these markups, exactly right. Like, and they're doing it with the real estate market a little bit. BlackRock's doing it with the real estate market, but I think they're kind of shifting towards Bitcoin recently right now.
Because everything's going after the real estate market and housing, right? So they're basically trying to take companies and every other kind of entity away from owning properties, and the only people allowed to own them are people. Like, a company can't own 5, 10 different properties and rent them out to families. Right. So now is the time to basically, for these bigger companies to get out of real estate as it's going to be going down in the next 10 years, and move and switch over into the digital era, because housing is going to change too, whether we like it or not. I mean, we've watched it change over our lifetime where we live.
Absolutely. The last 10 years is insane.
Oh, it's nuts. So, everything is changing.
Unsustainable. So it's going to be forced, right? Like, you can only push for so long. And I don't know. I think there's quite a few houses for sale around here, and I don't think many of them are selling. There's definitely one down the road from me that's been for sale for months now. It looks really nice.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You got to remember, I mean, when I was doing it, a lot of people bought during COVID, right? When the money printer was on, everybody had tons of money and low interest rates. And now that their mortgages are up, they sign them for 6, 7, 5 years at a 1-2%. Now, oh, I have to sign at a 6-7%. Well,
Yeah.
shit, I can't afford that.
Yeah, that's true.
I need to pay for this because that's what I bought it for, but I paid 200,000 over what it's valued.
It was a designed trap.
Yeah.
And a lot of people took the bait.
Everybody that don't do this. Like, it's stupid. Don't, like, why are you going in? Oh, I'm bidding 100K over. You're a moron.
Yeah. It was an absolute trap. They got everybody. And I mean, hopefully, you know, as long as you didn't get over leveraged and you actually do provide good value, you know, you should be okay. But that's the thing, is where they gave it away for so easy. There's no proof of work. And then those people who actually failed to prove that they work, they're going to get shaken out.
Well, a lot of the big problem too is these lenders will lend money based on you renting, but you renting is also based on somebody else being able to afford that rent and wanting to actually live in your basement suite. Like, you have to provide something of value for them to pay that kind of money. Right. And to get that kind of money, I know it's pretty damn hard rental market out there at times, but
mostly because of the demand too. So there has been up until this year, I don't even know, like, so many people moving here, right? Our population where we live has 10x'd in 10 years. And so if you're like, you're basically doubling your population every year almost.
It's ridiculous. But I mean, I'm glad to see that it's finally decreasing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I also have seen rents decrease over the last few months too. People are struggling a little more. It's not just I put it on the market and it's gone. It's now people are waiting and sitting to rent their places out. Yeah. So that shows you the start of what's going on, right? Even the renters can't make enough money to help you pay your mortgage. So
and ridiculous thing is because the rent is more expensive than a mortgage.
I know.
I know people who rent and say they're going to rent forever, and you can't tell them any different. And I don't try to get into it with people unless they ask me, but how much do you pay? Like the same questions always come up, and it's like, I pay $3,500 to rent this place. What? That's what? No,
so you got to find a place where you can rent and build your assets, and that's the whole point of Bitcoin here, right? Like, this is, you see these highs. Well, that's when you're renting that $3,500 a month place, is when Bitcoin's at $200,000.
Yeah, rent.
You can afford it.
Like, the whole idea of rent was like, hey, I don't have enough money to buy a house, so I need to rent. So your rent should be like
to save.
Like, when I paid rent back in the day, my rent payment was $300 at one of the first places I stayed at. And then my rent, and it's not like I'm freaking 80 years old, this was only 15 years ago. 15, 20 years ago. And like, man, it's crazy. $300, maybe $800. I think the last time I paid rent, it was $1,000.
Jesus. Here's a funny thing. So when I moved back from Saskatchewan there, obviously, like 5 years ago now or so, my mortgage payment out there was, I think, 3 times less than what my rent is here. Like, mortgage. Right? Like, I put a down payment on a house, paid a mortgage that was less than anywhere you could find for rent in BC. And
if you do the math, you're paying off a $100,000, $200,000 place over 25 years. You're looking at
it's a car loan, Matt. It's nothing.
With interest, you're looking at $1,800 range payments. $1,800, maybe $2,000, depending on interest rates. But it's like,
oh, not even. Dude, I can tell you right now, a $175,000 mortgage or $200,000 mortgage is $800-900 a month out there
for a 25-year. And then
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding you. I mean, obviously, I had property taxes that were a couple hundred a month. You got all your bills and other things that come along with owning a property, but that's why I had that mortgage payment and purchase that house.
Yeah.
Obviously, I could have gone out and purchased the house where I was paying $1,500 a month in a mortgage, but why?
Yeah.
I would rather have equity and build a house and a nice, comfortable lifestyle rather than, you know, being over leveraged. And then when the market did go insane, I ended up selling when people were overpaying for everything, and I got out at a good time.
Yeah.
You know, moved back here and it changed the way that I'm investing in assets and stuff, because property here is not worth it for me if I didn't get in at the right time, unfortunately.
Not now. Not now, unless you got to go, at least not right around here, but like you got to go, you know, north a little bit. It seems like a lot of people are going to Cowichan Valley and stuff like that.
That's kind of where the new section is, right? But for right now, I'm just happy to rent, and, you know, the assets help pay and things like that. So
yeah, I mean, and if you can get something that's understandable, you know, and also have a partner that with it, right? Like,
that's the thing. You got to be a team. You can't. It's very, very, very hard to do these things by yourself these days. It's not the 70s, the 80s, the 90s.
Yeah,
you got to have a hell of a partner with you.
Yeah, and you got to definitely have the common goals and stuff too, and try and stay aligned with understanding that if you do put your minds together, it can get better in not that long a time. Like, you know,
oh no, like, dude, the time we've been together, it's nuts to see where we started and where we are now. Yeah, crazy.
Absolutely. Same for us. And if you can, even just try and get yourself a 5-year plan. I would suggest more like a 10-year plan, but if you can even just grasp a 5-year plan and stick to it, like it will, first of all, you'll a couple years into that 5-year plan, you'll really understand it more, and then a 10-year plan will come. But it's like, man, the biggest thing for people these days is just going day by day and not having a plan for next year. And if you don't have a plan, then you're gonna be in the exact same spot today that you will be in those 5 years.
Yeah, day to day. That's all you're gonna do. You know, you gotta set that goal, because those years go by real quick.
Oh yeah, especially
real quick. Like I said, you know, I wish, you know, 3 years ago when you were doing your future hand, I wish I had gotten a little more heavily into it, because well, look at where we are now, right? They're only 3 years.
Yeah, and that's funny because I've had quite a few people tell me that, but like, it's not a problem at all, because you know now. Every single situation, everybody wanted to know sooner, right? Of course, right? It would make complete sense. But the thing is that you know now, and nothing's going to change. Is if you know now, and then you plan for 5 years from now, well, then you'll be where you wish you were today, but it's just in 5 years, because everybody gets in when you get in. It's just the way it is. You got to take those blows to figure out, you know, how it works, and, you know, whatever. But, you know, if you don't ever do that, you don't take losses, the lessons, the whatever it takes to get there, then you don't get there. So you gotta just do it, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah, just jump in. It's great. It's honestly, it's wonderful.
It is. And honestly too, like you said, it goes by so fast. If you're doing the day to day, it goes by so fast. But if you actually have a plan, it seems like it doesn't go by fast, because you remember each step that got you to where you are now. And you're like, oh, when we did this, and then when we did this, and we did this. And it's like, whoa, it's been 10 years. But they're like, oh yeah, think about it. Think about all the things that we've done in the last 10 years. You're like, wow, it actually has been, you know, I remember when this was like this, but now it's like this. And oh yeah, and then we did that here. And you're like, oh wow, we've actually accomplished so much. It wasn't just day to day doing the same thing every single day. We're now here.
And the nutty part about this is where I work. I actually work with quite a few guys I used to work with before I moved, and you know, the conversations that you and me have versus what I hear from them are completely different, right? Life for them gotten worse, haven't accomplished anything, things are horrible, economy sucks, you know.
Because they're living on a fiat standard.
Well, exactly. That's the thing. Everybody that I talk to on that standard, it's total opposite. Whereas you talk to anybody who's kind of been into Bitcoin, it's I mean, you really are living in two separate worlds when you're dealing with this.
It's crazy.
So
it's crazy, man. It's crazy how people still haven't really, like, what's stopping people from joining the bright side? Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, why does it still, even with social media and all these things that people are posting, people see people doing well because of this standard, and they're like, it's a scam. That's gotta be fake. That's not real. That's AI. What?
Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein created it. He trafficked kids with it. That's all it's meant
Man.
for. But
Dude, it's just
meanwhile,
crazy.
the BlackRock is fuck it. Yeah, the people that handle all of your pensions and all of your money and investments and everything
Yeah.
own Bitcoin.
Because they want to maintain control. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you should probably do a little bit of education, a little bit of research, get yourself educated.
It's nuts if just absolutely nuts when you have the top three companies that run the entire world trying to buy all the Bitcoin, and you're sitting there going, it's a scam.
Yeah.
That means everything you have invested with them too is going to be gone. So
it's and this is clear proof. Boomers bought a house in one income. You can't buy a house on two. Same country, same labor, same hours, different money. Because they can print as much money as they want. And when they print, it devalues. So everything gets more expensive. So that's why the markets are going up, inevitably. Because they keep printing more money. We're breaking out. This does look like a bit of a fractal. So I don't know how much further we're going to go up. But
I think we're kind of stuck.
Well, we got to see a reaction up here before any big calls are made for me personally, because we are on top of this value area high here, and now are holding it to potentially continue up higher and find another range in the 80 to 85k. At this point, the higher time frames, it kind of looks like we might be going up to hang out in the 80s for a bit. And we haven't really done that very much. So I think it will be good, because the only times we've ever hung out in the 80s was a little bit through here, February 25 to April 25. So only a few months. And then just a little bit in here. Yeah, it was 90s. So we did a little bit in here. The mid to low 80s is really a unevaluated area, I guess. It hasn't really figured out what it wants to do here. So we knew when we pumped that this was going to be a significant range. And I've been saying it since we pumped. We knew that when we flew straight from the 60s all the way to the 90s, that there was more time to be had in the 70s and the 80s. And take advantage of the 70s and the 80s, because we missed the 70s and the 80s here in the 2000s. And Bitcoin will be in the 2000s before too long. And then you'll wish it was the 80s again.
Yep.
Wish it was the 70s again. But
can't wait for that day when we're sitting here going, man, remember when we bought Bitcoin at 75k?
Yeah. Well, imagine if we get a flashback to the 50s before then too. That would be sweet.
Oh yeah.
Just pump some Elvis. We're in the 50s, boys.
Oh,
let's go.
The only channel sitting here who's happy about a bear market.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we've been waiting for, man. It's very nice. We're out of my DCA zone.
Yeah.
We are out. We have exited my DCA zone. And so, yeah, I haven't really DCA'd too much. I do have a little box up here that I probably will take some profits from. But it's tough though, because now basically the whole market like crash is just basically waiting for a news event at this point, because fundamentals and money printing are just melting everything up. And the only thing that's going to push the market down is a news event, is the old black swan that we call the black swan, but it seems to be like pretty common process these days. Can't really call it a black swan anymore when we know what they're doing. You know? So I don't know, it's pretty funny. But at this point anyways, I've been going for about an hour now. How do we go for an hour?
That's a little scary.
Didn't look at the S&P. Oh, we did a little bit, but S&P still going up a bit. But yeah, man, who knows? Like, this has happened before. And it just continues to melt up. All we had was this little correction before continuation. Looks like right around here, right? Correction, continuation, and then take out the highs and keep going higher. Take out the highs, keep going higher. Money's flowing into the green. We already had low momentum down here. Boom, boom, boom. Buy the dip. Up she go. It is still a bearish divvy here. Still a bearish divvy. So 1, 2, big one, and then big down. I mean, we have this target down here.
It's coming.
We have this target down here for a reason.
You watch that crash, and then this is what you're going to hear. That's going to crash. Bitcoin's going to go up, and they're going to go sell all your S&P, buy Bitcoin. The market's crash. You're going to sell at a loss, and you're going to buy Bitcoin at a high.
The capital rotation will continue over and over again. Yeah, the S&P is just very sketchy at this point because you're buying all-time highs if you're buying, but for a lot of people, they don't care. They just buy. And when the market goes down, they're like, great, I'm going to buy more. So ultimately with currency debasement, that's kind of the plan, but it seems to me I'm a little bit skeptical of this this market right now, and I think that it's most likely going to get broken down before they build the new one, and we know the new one's coming before too long. So very rarely does a transition like this go smoothly, because they don't want it to go smoothly. The shittier it is, the more susceptible you are to just allowing them to provide the solution. Because if you're doing good, then that's when you question. But when you're doing bad and somebody offers you some bread, you're like, is it gluten-free? Oh, it doesn't matter. I got nothing to eat. I gotta eat it. When you're doing good though, you're like, is that bread gluten-free? I'm not gonna eat that bread. It's gluten-free. I'm gonna get my own bread. But
yeah.
That's where we're at right now. That's where we're at. Canada
spoiled.
Is not gonna ban Bitcoin. Just so everybody knows.
You can't ban Bitcoin.
The thumbnail for today was just for fun, because it's this more bear market FUD. Fear, uncertainty, disbelief, doubt, whatever you want to say. It's just them trying to push the market down. I think honestly they're just continuing to try and push the market down. They really want lower prices. But
they don't like that 80K. Every time it gets up to 79, they're pushing it down.
Yeah, that's you just have to be aware that they're trying to push it down. I'm in I guess I am in a short position right now, but this is an ill-advised short that I took last night after some beers. And I don't even remember taking it. I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh, I'm in a short.
I'm fucking short, god damn it. I meant to hit long
last night. I was long last night, so I don't know what I was thinking, but
yeah, you probably hit the reverse button on it and went, that's a great idea.
Yeah, probably not. I like the P&L was in the red from last night, so I was like, oh man, what was I doing? I should have just stuck to the golden tea.
Yeah. If you're drinking, you gotta stick to that.
You into some golden tea?
Yeah, I'll head on over here.
Sounds good. All right, folks. Join the golden tea stream where we'll continue the conversation and then potentially get a hole-in-one. Mark got a hole-in-one last night. It was epic.
Again? Didn't he get?
No, that was his first. He got his first hole-in-one last night.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna stream last night too, and I was like, oh, I should. And I was like, fuck it. We're just gonna screw around, play some golf. And he got a hole-in-one on, like, I don't know, the 4th or 5th hole, and then ended up having quite a round. And I think he beat me last night.
What?
I think. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I'm still just nothing on even the great shot, for God's sakes. I need to get one today.
You're due.
So,
I'll have to come over and find out.
I'll see you in a bit.
All right, peace out. All right, folks. Have a good day. Go outside. Eat a dandelion. I don't know. Don't do that. Nothing I say or do should be taken seriously or as financial advice. This is educational purposes only. This is all just for a laugh. Any trade setups that I take are gambling. You should never gamble with anything. Always be sure, do your own research and try and understand why it's happening. Don't worry about what's happening. Just try and understand why it's happening. And then you'll understand what's happening. All right? All right. Peace out, folks. See you next time. Like and subscribe. comment. Have a good day. That's more important. Peace. Oh no! Oh no! Click the wrong button. No, that should be right. I recommend putting your opinions aside and learning how to think logically